It should not have existed, not on any map, nor in any archive, nor in any tale told by elders. Did mention of the city I found deep within the jungle appear, yet there it was. Its walls, cloaked in moss and vines, seemed to grow directly from the earth itself, while the wind slicing through narrow alleys whispered in a tongue I could not comprehend. Standing at the edge of a precipice, gazing upon this forgotten world, I knew there would be no turning back. My name is Alexei, and I am an archaeologist. My passion for ancient civilizations has taken me to the most remote corners of the planet, yet nothing could prepare me for what lay before me now. The expedition began as a routine research mission. We sought traces of an ancient tribe, mentioned in old missionary records. Instead of village ruins, however, we stumbled upon an entire city. The first thing that struck us was the silence, so thick you might think time itself had frozen. Jungles usually teeming with bird calls and rustling leaves fell eerily quiet here. We pushed forward, hacking our way with machetes until the first stone walls came into view. Huge blocks formed them, seemingly impossible to move even with modern machinery. Some bore intricate carvings, strange symbols resembling either script or depictions of gods. As we entered the city, the sense of unreality only intensified. Narrow streets paved with stone led to a central plaza where a temple towered. Though partially ruined, its dome retained an air of majesty. Inside, we encountered a statued human figure with the head of a jaguar. Eyes crafted from dark stone seemed to follow our every movement. Yet stranger events were still to unfold. After setting up camp in one of the structures, I observed that my wristwatch had ceased ticking. Initially attributing this to mere chance, I soon realized the compass had malfunctioned. Its needle twirled erratically, as though distorted by some anomaly in the local magnetic field. Night brought new mysteries, soft footfalls, hushed voices, fleeting laughter. Each time I ventured from the tent, however, the streets remained deserted. On the third day, we uncovered an underground passageway. Descending into shadows, I resolved to explore it alone. My flashlight revealed walls adorned with the same cryptic markings. With each step, the sensation grew that something or someone was observing me. Reaching the tunnel's terminus, I discovered a chamber. A stone table dominated its center, atop which rested a book. Pages fashioned from a peculiar thin metal, their characters glowing softly in a pale blue hue. Unable to resist, I cracked open its cover. And then everything shifted. Light flooded the room, and visions materialized before me, figures clad in bizarre attire conversing in an unintelligible tongue. They gestured, attempting to convey something, but comprehension evaded me. Then a disembodied voice reverberated within my mind, pronouncing, "You should never have come here." I fled back toward the surface. Emerging, I found my companions in a state of panic. They insisted I'd vanished for an entire day, although to me, scarcely an hour had elapsed. Deciding to depart the city post-haste, we attempted to retrace our steps. However, the familiar jungle paths now felt alien, leading us in circles. Day after day, we trekked, only to return inexorably to the city. Now, penning these words, I hope they may someday reach another soul. Escape remains elusive. The city refuses to release us. Every night brings renewed sounds of approaching footsteps and mutterings, drawing ever nearer. Unsure of the fate that befell this place's original inhabitants, I fear we are destined to share their doom. If you read this, heed my warning. Do not seek Eldora. It does not wish to be found. We had been trapped in the city for over a week, and each passing day brought fresh enigmas and mounting terror. The once impenetrable jungle now resembled a living labyrinth, its contours shifting like a taunt. Trees we marked to guide ourselves appeared in entirely different locations the following morning. Strange odors carried on the breeze, sweet like blossoms one moment, bitter like smoke the next. But the true horror awaited us under the veil of night. Each evening, the noises intensified. Footsteps, previously faint echoes behind walls, now rang clear and distinct. Whispering morphed into audible voices speaking the same uncanny tongue as the apparitions I'd witnessed below ground. Occasionally, I fancied myself on the cusp of understanding, only for the words to slip away, leaving behind a gnawing anxiety. One morning, we awoke to find Mark, a member of our team, missing. His tent stood empty, his tracks vanishing into the heart of the city. Desperate, we pursued him, but the further we delved, the more the city resisted. Streets that had once run straight now coiled like serpents, while buildings seemed displaced, defying memory. We located Mark at the base of the temple, staring fixedly at the jaguar-headed idol, mumbling incoherently. Efforts to lead him away provoked fierce resistance, his eyes vacant, his cries uttered in the unknown dialect. Securing Mark, we returned to camp, but matters deteriorated rapidly thereafter. Each night, someone among us experienced an irresistible summons, a compulsion seeping into consciousness, urging us forward despite overwhelming dread. Despite mutual restraint, two of our comrades disappeared one dawn, their prints trailing towards the subterranean passage. Realizing I must act, I descended again, armed with a lantern and knife. This time, I hastened past the symbol-laden walls without pause. Upon reaching the chamber housing the stone table, I found them standing before the book, eyes closed, lips moving in sync with the arcane chant. My attempts to pull them free met futile opposition, as though their minds dwelled elsewhere. Then I spied it, lurking in a corner. A shadow-like form approached, its presence palpable, emanating the same spectral glow as the book's pages. Its gaze penetrated mine. Overwhelmed by frigid dread, my thoughts flooded with visions of cities vanishing, people transformed into phantoms, and something vast lurking in the gloom. Fleeing with my colleagues in tow, their bodies heavy as sacks of sand, we surfaced to discover the city altered. Buildings, formerly dilapidated, now appeared almost intact. The air charged with an unsettling hum as though the city stirred awake. Returning to camp, I knew our reprieve was temporary. The city refused to relinquish its hold. It craves our company, and I begin to grasp why. Each night, dreams torment me, visions of strolling familiar streets, hearing my name called. My resolve weakens daily. Still, I must warn others. Avoid Eldora. It is far more than a forsaken ruin. It lives, and it hungers.